Hi folks, we're still out here in Germany and still enjoying the sunshine, the blue skies, and having a great time at the Sono Days event. And I'm delighted to say that I'm now joined on this wonderful silver couch by none other than a very good friend of mine, Mr. Stephan Emig. Stephan,
thank you so much for inviting me.
Hey, thank you for your time. I know the Sono guys are working the players really hard. They're doing master classes, performances, and plus there's guys like us here demanding interviews. So it's quite an intense weekend for everybody. But fortunately, over the weekend we were blessed with seeing Stephan with one of, I guess it's kind of one of your main projects with Trio Sense,
yes,
right? Which is a beautiful and incredibly musical trio. People that if you haven't seen them, then I really heartily suggest that you get out and discover them and investigate them for yourself, because I think you will be very pleasantly surprised. But Stephan has just handed me this new CD, which is basically the last record, which was called Turning Points, but live.
That's right.
So when and this I can't read this without my glasses. What's it called again?
It's called One Summer Night.
One Summer Night. Okay, so it's called One Summer Night, and it's Trio Sense live. So tell me a little bit about this the new record then.
Yes. We released Turning Points early 2013, and we did a pretty long tour. Did around 70 shows.
Wow, nice.
And yes, and we played 2 nights in Überlingen, and this was one of those summer nights that we played there, and we recorded the CD, and it's kind of a mix of a couple of songs from Turning Points and songs from the previous CDs too.
Right. Did you choose that particular venue because you knew that you'd played it before and you knew it was a good sound, or it just happened to be?
The story is a little funny, because we played. It was a clinic that we played at.
Oh, okay, right.
And the owner of the clinic is a big fan of Trio Sense,
right?
And so he supported the Turning Points CD.
Oh, nice, right.
And he was like the co-producer, and so he invited us to his clinic in Überlingen to perform. It's at the Bodensee. I don't know if you know that. It's like a huge lake in the south of Germany, where like Austria, Switzerland, and Germany.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a really beautiful area, and so it was a really nice venue there, and great people, and so that's how we ended up playing in the clinic, in an actual clinic, and
by that you don't mean a drum clinic.
And I don't mean a drum clinic. Yes, that's right. Sometimes you end up there too, but
this was a different form of therapy.
That's right.
This was good therapy.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So that's how this whole thing came along.
Okay.
And we've now just are in the booking process for the next tour.
Right.
And fall, I think around September, October, this CD will be out.
Fantastic.
And then we have already, I think, like 40 shows coming up.
Nice. Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, like I say, people, please do go and see Trio Sense. I was fortunate enough to see you in Frankfurt last year, and thoroughly enjoyable it was too. But also, I mean, you're here at the Sono Days event, and you're also here with Ritmo del Mundo.
That's right.
Rhythms of the World.
That's right.
Right. So, tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about? Because that's a very different project.
It is
to Trio Sense.
Absolutely. Nene Vasquez, a percussion player, moved to Hanover. It's kind of a fun story too, because I went to the Musikmesse, like go there kind of regularly every year.
Right.
And one time I went by train, and there was this Venezuelan guy sitting next to me, and I met him or saw him at the Musikmesse playing congas like crazy.
Right.
And then I just started to talk to him, and his German wasn't very good.
Right.
So I kind of asked, like, "Hey man, I'm a drummer. I'm from Hanover. I saw you in the train, and let's meet." And he's like, "You got a job for me?" In German.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, "All right, that's not the answer that I expected." But it's really funny because I got to take lessons with him, conga lessons, percussion lessons, and we became friends.
Nice.
He's a really nice guy. It was just a language thing. So it was like no offense at all. So we became friends and started this project, I think 2006. and I kind of got into Sonar to play Sonar percussion instruments because they were looking for international artists, percussion artists.
Sure.
And, this is how we met, and we started jamming, and it ended up like writing duets for drums and percussion.
Right.
Did some clinic tours for Sonar, and so we've been playing for a long time now.
Right. So the language thing was almost overcome by the playing.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that was the language instead. That's really interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And he lives in Hanover and has been living there since, I don't know, like a couple of years now.
Right. Very convenient.
Which is amazing, having a percussionist like that in the hometown.
set first and then percussion, or percussion first and then drum set?
It was drum set first.
Right.
It was a Sonar drum set first.
Right. Okay.
Because Nico McBrain of Iron Maiden played. Doesn't anymore, but played Sonar drums.
Sure, yeah.
And so it was clear for me that I had to have Sonar drums at one point. So it was drum set and like rock music first.
Sure.
And it kind of developed. I started playing early 90s in so-called jazz hip-hop bands.
Right.
Which were like hip-hop bands that would have live musicians.
Nice.
Which was a new thing.
Yeah, of course. Then. Yeah.
and this is how I got in touch with jazz musicians, because these bands would have horns too,
Right,
and
yeah,
upright bass players,
Yeah.
which I hadn't any contact before. And so I got in touch with those new styles of music, and through my studies at LA Music Academy, I started playing percussions with Jerry Steinholtz, for example, or Amy Richards,
Nice.
and Billy Halting. These
Right.
were like people that kind of showed me that there's something else.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah,
I really fell in love with percussion instruments.
Nice, right.
I collect these instruments, and I'm really happy to see so many percussionists here at the festival too.
Right, right. Well, the whole cajon thing has exploded. The cajon has become like the new djembe.
Yes, 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 yeah, absolutely. That's right.
So yeah, I think it's good because again, I mean, in fact, the cajon player that played with you yesterday.
Yes.
I can't remember his name, but
Javier Katumba?
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most famous flamenco cajon players in
Right,
the south
right.
of Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, your performance actually yesterday was probably
Oh,
one of the highlights of the day, and
oh,
I'm
thanks
not,
so
and
much.
I don't mean that disrespectfully to the other guys, but it was in a way the kind of the pulse and the vibe and the percussion really changed the whole atmosphere in the tent, and
Yes.
everybody kind of really responded to it.
Thanks.
No, you
And
guys.
these are intense players too. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
You feel it when you play the drums and you have percussionists like that around you. That it's like you can't get out of the way of the energy. You know? It's like,
No, right.
come on.
You really go with it,
Yeah.
or you're left
Yes,
behind.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really a lot of fun. And you, when you start playing percussions, you then you realize how good those guys are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when you hear Katumba play the cajon,
Yeah.
and then you sit on the same cajon, hit it.
Right.
And when Katumba plays, it's like "Pluku pakaka," and you hit it, it's like. Oh no! And you,
But you take some of those ideas and translate them to the drum set.
that's right.
Yeah.
I steal.
Yeah.
all the time.
I think it's osmosis for everybody.
It is like
you know,
that.
I'm sure that he also takes some of the things that you play on the drum set and takes them to the cajon.
Probably.
But interestingly, I mean, Ritmo del Mondo is it's a much more intense thing than Trio Sense. But interestingly, yesterday I heard Chris Coleman come up to you
Yes.
and he spoke very, very highly of your touch, and you do have an incredibly light touch when it's needed, and then in the same breath, then later the next day we see you with Ritmo del Mondo, and it's it's backbeats and you're blazing around the kit. What I want to know is what is it that you did that helped you create such a light touch, but still with that intensity and that groove and the feel that you have? I mean, was there anything specific that a teacher or somebody gave you, or something that you heard, or just how do you get that light?
Maybe I never really thought about it. Sometimes it was just necessary to play very low volume.
Sure, yeah.
If you play with an upright bass player without an amplifier,
Right.
you really have to be a
Yeah,
quiet player. But sometimes then you lose the energy.
Yeah, but you don't lose that. That's my point.
Thanks.
I mean, the intensity that you guys create, the trio
Yeah.
creates, is fantastic. But it's not the volume intensity.
Yes.
It's a dynamic intensity that's musical, but almost understated. I mean, for Chris Coleman to come up to you and
that's right. I mean,
be fair, though, accept the
Yeah, man. I mean,
the praise.
Yes, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe something comes from playing percussions too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
some of the percussion instruments are very low volume instruments,
Mm-hmm.
and you play with fingers a lot. And
Yeah.
you kind of discover the dynamic range that is here at maximum.
Right.
So so you have to explore this when you play with fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a good tabla player, but I fool around on tablas and I play udu drums,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
things like that. And these are instruments that are by nature of a very low volume, so you have
Sure,
to
yeah.
experience. I don't know. Maybe you start listening to drums a little different.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe, but that's just a little bit of a guess.
Right. Okay. No. I just your touch and feel is something that I think a lot of people would, that if they saw you for the first time, would be astounded by. It is so delicate, but so appropriate. I'm not trying to paint this picture of this sort of wishy-washy little player, but it's so precise, but so beautifully understated.